There's a word which we always say from the Maharal of Prague. Moshe Rabbeinu said, that when you dovek, when you attach yourself to Hashem Elokeichem, chaim kulchem hayom, you live, all live today and eternally. Why? So he explains, what is the source of all life? What's the source of all existence? HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So if a person cleaves to the source, which is the basis for all existence, which is more than life, chaim kulchem hayom, you're going to continue living, you're going to thrive at the most advanced level. So what determines the degree of chaim? To what degree you live? If you have something which is nourished, and the connection to that source of nourishment is the maximum, whatever is being nourished is going to be nourished at the maximum level. So the more a person is dovek, the more you attach yourself, the greater beneficiary you are of that chaim. So Hashem attests to the fact, Pinchas Kineas Kinosi, the wrath that I should have expressed because the Chil Hashem that was taking place, he expressed an identical level of wrath. So what was his level of attachment to me? It was the ultimate level of attachment. Therefore, he's Chaim Kulchem Hayom. So as a beneficiary of Chaim, he will be the greatest beneficiary of Chaim, Pinchas. And therefore, as we'll see in a moment, the Gemara says, Pinchas is Eliyahu Novi. Eliyahu Novi is a malach, became an angel. He lives forever. He was not subject to the Malcham Ovis, to the angel of death, or to death at all, because of the act of zealotry he did now. Why? So because he attached himself in his lifetime to that degree, which is the maximum ultimate, and what was the value of that? Lochilis Bnei Yisrael. I did not destroy Klal Yisrael because of his act of zealotry. And he was willing to give his life, as the Midrash says, multiple miracles had to take place that he shouldn't die, that he shouldn't be killed. So because that was his level of dveikus, therefore he has brisi shalom. Therefore he has the covenant of peace, shalom is shleimus, is wholesomeness, and therefore he lives forever. We had mentioned that the reason why a person has to die and ultimately be resurrected is because the impurity of the Eitz Hadas, which is Ra, is part of the person's entity. Because of that, the person has to first decompose and only then is resurrected with the pure matter of the human being. Because the evil cannot continue. That has to come to an end. Pinchas had attached himself at such a level, although he was immortal, he lives forever. If you'd say Pinchas is Eliyahu. But why? Because the answer is, if you attach yourself to that degree, automatically that evil is vaporized. At Sinai, that evil was vaporized. And that's what Sinai, we went back to pre-sin of Adam. Because when you have that level of exposure and that level of attachment to the Shekhinah, to the divine presence, evil cannot exist. Automatically, it's vaporized. There's no level of vacuum. The Ramchal explains in a number of locations, Ra is only a result of vacuum. If there's a vacuum, so wherever there's a lack, that Ra has, evil has a location, has a place. What happens if there's no location? It's full attachment. If there's a full attachment, there's no Ra. So Pinchas doesn't have to die. If you're of the opinion Pinchas is Eliyahu Novi, is because his level of dveikus was to that degree. Therefore, the result of this, L'chein emor. So he says to Moshe, L'chein emor. Hini nosein l'esbrisi shalom. I'm giving him my covenant of peace. So Rashi says, Shetei lo l'bris shalom, kodem amachzi tova, v'chenus l'ishos lo tova. He has special favor in my eyes. Avkam pirush la'kodesh baruch hu shlomosov, because of what he did. There's an Orach Chaim HaKodesh in Parsha Shmos. We find that Yocheved and Miriam were the midwives in Egypt. And the Torah tells us they were told by Paro that they should kill the male children. It says, V'atirena hamiyalus es Elokim, the Mialdas, the midwives, they feared God, and therefore they didn't heed the word of Paro. And therefore they allowed the children to live, not only that, to sustain them. So Rechaim HaKodesh over there makes a point. You find something very interesting. The couple that were the parents of the most special children in the history of Klal Yisrael were who? Yocheved and Amram. Why did they merit such special children? Moshe Rabbeinu is Shokol Keneged Yisrael. He's the equivalent of all Klal Yisrael. Aaron is the equivalent of Moshe to a certain degree. Miriam is also very special, the most special. How do two people merit such one special child? We have to understand, but three. So he explains, if not for their Yiras Elokim, their fear of God, there would not be a Jewish people. If they would have killed the males, they would have intimidated by the decree of Paro, there wouldn't be a Klal Yisrael. The women, they would have married Egyptians. We would have totally assimilated and disappeared. It's only because of their exceptional level of Yir Shamayim, that's what is a Klal Yisrael. And because it's only due to Yocheved's dedication and instruction, even Miriam, who was her daughter, was influenced by her mother, therefore they merited to have three children, which are equivalent of Klal Yisrael for that reason. That's the Orach Chaim HaKodesh. Hashem says, Pinchas, if not for his act of zealotry, there would not be a Jewish people. So again, Pinchas is a great-grandchild of Yocheved. Again, so why is there a Klal Yisrael? Again, the Kohen. Because of the Pinchas zealotry, therefore there's a Klal Yisrael. And who's the Mavaser? Eliyahu Hanavi, if you hold of the opinion that Pinchas is Eliyahu, who's the Mavaser? Who comes to inform us about the coming Mashiach? This is Eliyahu Hanavi. So Eliyahu, again, this is the grandchild of great-grandchild of Yocheved. So we see at that level. But again, it all goes back to based on your level of dveikus, to that degree, you're a beneficiary of that nourishment. We had mentioned that Ramchal had said that although a human being is finite, but if you dovek, if you attach yourself to Hashem, even though you personally are finite, but if you attach yourself, you become part of an infinite system. Hashem is infinite. So if you dovek in Him, you become part of that infinite system. So based on that degree of dveikus, of attachment, that's the degree that you become part of that infinite system. So since Pinchas was kinos kinosi, he gave every aspect, every bit of his emotion and his mind and his life for Kiddush Hashem. Therefore, he merited the ultimate level. Although, as we'll see in a moment, he wasn't born a Kohen, he was never anointed as a Kohen. Nevertheless, he merited Kuna.